In the previous episode, we got started with the PROTOSS campaign in StarCraft Remastered, and in the absence of Tassadar, we were named the new PROTOSS Executor. Now, our very first task was to go ahead and defend an outpost on Aiur, and we did so successfully together with the help of Praetor Fenix. However, shortly after that mission, Tassadar did reach out to us, and he explained exactly the reason for his absence from his home planet. And it turns out that he was attracted to a little planet known by the name of Char. He was attracted to that planet just like many of the other heroes that we have encountered in the story so far. Now on Char, Tassadar met up with the Dark Prelate known by the name of Zeratul, one of the previous murderers, of course, of Zaz during the Zerg episode of this campaign. And Zeratul explained to us how the Zerg functions. Instead of just assuming that there is going to be the Overmind at the top and then all of the Zerg brutes at the bottom of it, there are Cerebrates in the middle. And in the second mission, we ended up attacking and killing one of the Cerebrates. And the next mission is called Higher Ground, Citadel of the Executor, 2 hours later.
Executor, I bring news most dire. The Cerebrate that we thought we had killed has arisen again. The creature's battered form was reincarnated despite the considerable damage we inflicted upon it. Even now, the Cerebrate drives its brood in preparation for their next offensive.
It is as I feared. It was folly to believe Tassadar could be trusted. The Conclave will not soon forget his wanton betrayal. Nevertheless, we must stand resolute, for attacking defenseless Cerebrates is not the way of true PROTOSS warriors. We shall overcome the entire swarm with the might and the fury that is our heritage. Executor, we shall lead our main strike force to the province of Scion, which has fallen to the Zerg. It's time the Zerg felt the wrath of the sons of Aiur. Praetor Fenix will remain here with a small detachment and guard Antioch from any further assaults.
Adun be with you, Executor. Bring swift death to the enemies of Aiur.
I mean, considering you just found out that apparently the Zerg reincarnates their leaders, I don't know how smart a straight-up assault is going to be. But anyways, our objective for this next mission are pretty straightforward. We need to go ahead and destroy a Zerg colony. Or at the very least, a couple of them. Looks like we got scouts. Very good. Scouts actually considered to be the worst unit in the multiplayer, at least in StarCraft 2. Or in StarCraft, rather. Other than, of course, you know, the fact that they just simply cost a little bit too much. They're also not that amazing, other than, like, fighting against massive air units as well. But really, for the most part, it is advised, at least many a times in the past before, to not go ahead and make scouts unless you know very, very clearly what you are doing. Their air-to-air attack is pretty decent, though. Anyways, it's quite interesting, right, to see exactly how this dynamic between Tassadar, then the PROTOSS on Aiur, as well as the Dark Prelate Zeratul are developing. I mean, I don't think that actually Tassadar is necessarily a bad guy. Tassadar seemed a pretty good guy, not gonna lie. He's trying his very best, and he got the advice from the Dark Prelate, of course, who is also not very well respected, because, well, he is a Dark Prelate. And the issue there is pretty obvious, too. Just because they don't really like each other, and of course, while Zeratul did indeed face off against the Cerebrate as well, he ended up getting the kill off because of the Psyblade, right? Or at the very least because of the fact that he could not be... He could not be resurrected there because, of course, the Overmind had a brief vision there and couldn't quite resurrect the Cerebrate there in time. At the very least, I'm pretty sure that's what happened there. I don't think they have been quite clear enough about it, precisely what happened there. But regardless, the Overmind is going to be capable of resurrecting a lot of the Zerg warriors, which is going to be tricky to deal with, not going to lie. Anyway, let's go ahead and start up here with a PROTOSS gateway. We got that cybernetics core opening up here as well. And I think next up, we'll wait until we get 100 minerals up. There we go. And we'll start up the assimilator here too. So we don't have any hero units. In the previous episode, apparently, by the way, a lot of you pointed out this fact that I didn't see exactly which of my zealots was Phoenix. Apparently you can see so just by a white border. I'll be honest, I hadn't realized that just yet. A typical case of loco blindness where I just simply don't see the most obvious things in the middle of my screen. Anyway, so scouts, I mean, they're not a bad unit. Don't get me wrong. They're pretty decent, right? Look at their air damage. It's pretty good. They also hit ground at the exact same time, which is nice too. But the real issue is that they are very expensive and not nearly as good as some of the other PROTOSS units you can make, right? That's kind of the issue here. So I can go ahead and create a Citadel of Adun right now, as well as a Stargate. So I really like that one. Let's go ahead and get a Citadel of Adun going. I don't think I'm gonna bother roll too much with these units. We'll just use them for Overwatch snipes, I suppose. They're good at that. They're good at that at the very least. Anyway, I think I'm mostly gonna focus once again on Zealots as well as Dragoons, because of course they're gonna be very powerful. Let's do a little bit of scouting though, see if we can find any potential bases nearby. I do ideally want to get myself another expansion here if I can. There we go. Citadel of Adun. I hope that it's gonna include the Zealot leg upgrade already, which would be very nice. Yeah, there we go. Leg enhancements. That's exactly what we're looking for. Let's go ahead and put the third probe into the gas now as well. Now there is an expansion over here actually. Look at that. Oh, there's also a Bangalas. Very interesting. You know what? I'm gonna send a PROTOSS probe over there in that direction. And I think while I sent the Zealots out as well, I'll leave the Dragoons at home, so for now at the very least, and just create some more units. Let's go ahead and get the upgrade going here. There we go. And we'll have to spend a little bit of time here starting up this expansion, because I think it's probably gonna be quite necessary if we plan on making a lot of units. Oh, actually, the Hydra just got picked up. Did you see that? Can we kill that in time? Nope, not quite in time there. Although, I think that these scouts are still going to be more than enough to clean all of this up. Very nice. I don't think we want to kill the Bangalas, right? That's probably bad luck. I don't know if it is considered to be bad luck, but I don't think we want to bother with it. Let's have a quick look around, though, see if there's anything of note here as well. I've already got quite a lot of probes at this point. I think it's going to be worth it for us to go ahead and get ourselves at the very least one forge. Not sure if we're going to be capable of getting +2 upgrades just yet, but I think I also want to go ahead and actually put up a pylon over here, just so we can construct some photon cannons in just a second, which will more than likely be quite helpful. There we go. Now, the Zealot leg upgrade, by the way, like leg upgrades and like speed upgrades in this game in general are incredibly valuable. I did not realize that for the longest time, but the speed upgrades in this game are incredible. So this one's just about to finish up, right? Look at the speed of this Zealot, right? We just have to wait for the leg enhancements to finish. There it is. Look at that. Look at that speed increase. That's massive. Let's go ahead and get ourselves the ranged upgrade now for the Dragoons as well. And this is one of the reasons, right, why Dragoons and Zealots just simply work so very well together. They just deal a heck of a lot of damage, and they're cheap, and they're very, like, disposable. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a photon cannon over here, though, just in case, like, a Hydra or two decides to pop its head out. I don't really know if that's gonna happen, but regardless, I think we are probably better off just simply sending some workers across. I think I've got a little bit too many probes here, so let's go ahead and create some more that can rally their way towards the bottom left-hand corner of the map too. And I think actually getting a second photon cannon is not going to be that bad of an idea either, just because a single one is not going to be that amazing for defense. Alright, I think though for now, since I'm still making probes for my second base, I'm just going to stick to 2 gateways here. And once we finish up saturating this base, which is not going to be all too long actually, we're already nearly done. We're actually in a pretty good spot already. I think right about right now is when we start adding on additional gateways as well. I don't need that many resources. I don't even think I need this much gas. But I think a total of like 5 gateways will probably do quite well. And we'll focus on a bunch of Zealots as well as a bunch of Dragoons. And I think we'll make a move for it once I finish up +1 attack as well as +1 armor. So let's go ahead and start up a couple more gateways. Come on now, guys! You're blocking our friendly little probe here. There we go. Gonna bind hotkey F2 over here. And we'll rally all of the gateways over in this direction. Which should be quite efficient. Because that way I can quickly jump towards this position here on the map. And we can just simply produce out of all of these gateways in a matter of seconds. Let's go ahead and get ourselves some more pylons. Well, actually, I can't queue up pylons, sadly. And we'll create some over here as well, just because we can. And it will take a couple of minutes before we can really start producing a really powerful force. So give me just a sec. The game is definitely becoming more tricky over time here. It's quite cool to see though. But my PROTOSS warriors are definitely not weak. Getting +1 armor right now as well, and it does look like 5 gateways is probably the you know, the most I can produce out of right now. I really can't. I can probably afford like 4 full time here, but it's alright. It's alright. We'll be fine. Alrighty, so our +1 armor is also just about to finish up. I've got a pretty solid army here. 12 Zealots, 12 Dragoons in this one. Then we got, well, a bunch more units. I think I'm just gonna hotkey these guys separately. Oh, well, these mutas are not gonna do anything. Alrighty then, perfect. I think this is kind of the timing where we're gonna go ahead and construct a couple more pylons and then move across the map. I, by the way, decided to put my my scouts on patrol between my natural and my main base. I think it's probably a good idea. Let's go ahead and create one more pylon here. And I think you guys are going to be hotkey number 4. Alright, let's make a bit of a move out here on the map. Apparently there's just about to be an engagement here from the Zerg. I got so many units there already at this point. It's kind of wild. So I can simply hit F2 on the keyboard, which I bound to a camera location right here of all of these gateways. And I can quickly jump towards that position there to make sure that I'm producing out of all of these units. Already though, I've got 4 control groups worth of army, which is not ideal. Just simply moving your stuff around the map is already pretty tricky. Now, some of you, by the way, tried explaining to me the reason why Dragoons apparently are pretty tricky to control. And apparently the reason why they have this tendency to derp around is because the model of the unit is different depending on whether or not it's moving or standing still. The size of it is different. So say if you got a couple of units standing still on a ramp, so a couple of Dragoons standing still on a ramp are actually at a different size than a couple of moving Dragoons. Now, I haven't checked the truth behind that on whether or not that's accurate, but I can imagine that that is going to be the case, or at least something along those lines is going to be the case. Because the units are so derpy. Like, look, for example, right now, right? I'm trying to move things down the ramp, and they're just simply, like, they're just simply not doing it very well. Apparently, the same is true for Goliaths as well. All these units are very tricky to micro. I'm assuming that exactly is the reason. Like, this one is... Why are you still there? And because of course, the fact that Dragoons are blocking the position, that means immediately as well that Zealots are also gonna have a hard time moving across the map. Now, there is a Great Aspire, apparently. There are a whole lot of units, but I've made a whole lot of stuff myself here as well. I mean, good luck breaking this stuff. Do I just simply destroy this entire base? Is that kind of my objective here? There may be something else hiding in the corner as well. Let's go ahead and send the Zealot up to the top left and the top right as well. There we go. I like this a lot, though. I really love the production cycles for PROTOSS. I think they're a lot of fun. I think they're very cool as well. It plays so smoothly. Ooh, man, look at that dragon skeleton. I have no clue what that was. Well, I'm assuming it was a dragon, but kind of looks like one anyway. There are a bunch of these critters moving around on the map. I have destroyed just every single Zerg building that I could find up here, although there may be some hidden as well in the corner of the map. You think there's gonna be anything over here? It did very clearly say Zerg colonies, right? So I'm assuming there's gonna be another base somewhere over here. Yep, there it is. One hero Zealot scouting ahead. What a beast. You move across. You guys move across. You guys move across as well. We'll make some Dragoons here. And we'll just simply attack move all of our units across, rather than like very specifically target firing and making sure that we're being extremely accurate about all of this. I'm just simply attack moving a lot of units, because I've found so far that usually having more stuff is far more effective than actually trying to micro all of the individual units that you have. Of course, ideally you would do both, right? But macro is most definitely still key here in StarCraft. StarCraft Remastered, as well as it ever was in StarCraft Brood War, I guess. Like these guys, I sent them on attack move like, what? 30 seconds ago. They're still hanging out over there. Anyway, this Zerg colony is shortly gonna be overrun as well. Moving them across. I got way too much gas income. I think I can probably afford even up to like 6 gateways at this point, and just simply, yeah, and just simply focus on a single gas geyser instead. We don't have enough mineral patches really on this base, though. And my bases are already starting to run a little bit dry. But I think it's reasonable, right? I think it's reasonable to go like 2 gateways on one base, then an additional 3 on 2 bases, and then once you hit like a 3rd base as well, to go ahead and go up to like 4 additional gateways, bringing the total up to 9. Seems pretty good on 3 bases anyway. Of course, with some tech structures as well, although I don't really know exactly what I can make out of the Stargate just yet. I just really like the Zealot. Speed lots are incredible. Alright, is that this mission taken care of?
Executor, Antioch is under attack by overwhelming Zerg forces.
Praetor, you must hold your position for as long as possible. Fight on, brave Phoenix, and know that the gods watch over you. Entaro Adun.
Think that's it. Right? Wait, is it not? Oh no, it is. Sometimes there's like a random delay of like 5 seconds for no apparent reason, but we are indeed victorious. I think I got time for one more mission. The Zerg Hive cluster near the Scion province was destroyed, but the PROTOSS forces paid a high price for their victory. Was that just Phoenix in that cutscene? I don't actually know. Praetor Fenix, hero and steward of the Templar, was killed during the assault. The Conclave, convinced that its stratagems are winning the war against the Zerg, have let down their guard and turned their attention to personal matters. The Judicator Aldaris was ordered to find and arrest the wayward Tassadar and bring him home to stand trial for his crimes of treason. Now, with only a small fleet for protection, Aldaris and the Executor have traveled to the ash world of Char, hoping that Tassadar is still somewhere to be found. The hunt for Tassadar. PROTOSS command ship Gantrithor. Something like that.
Executor, I know that you were reluctant to leave Aiur in this dark hour, and that you still grieve for the loss of your comrade, Phoenix. But remember that he lived and died as a Templar. He has reached the Kala's end. There is no greater glory than that. We Judicator are called to look beyond such matters, to ensure the safety and future of our people. It is not the Zerg, but the rogue Tassadar, who represents the greatest threat to us now. If he is allowed to spread the Dark Templar's tainted influence to Aiur, all will be lost. We will find him and bring him to judgment. Tassadar claimed that this world was abandoned by the Zerg just prior to the invasion of Aiur. Yet I still sense a lingering darkness here. Be prepared for anything, Executor. If there are still Zerg on this world, then they must surely know of our arrival.
Alrighty then. So, apparently he really dislikes Tassadar. So really what Tassadar has done is given a suggestion to go ahead and kill one of the Zerg Cerebrates who got resurrected, right? Which I guess was just simply him not knowing the full story and not really understanding exactly, you know, why Zeratul ended up killing one of the Cerebrates. And I guess Zeratul himself then Zeratul himself then doesn't fully understand exactly why that happened either. And other than that, of course, he didn't report back home until, you know, very recently. Anyway, so in our next mission, we have to find Tassadar and bring him to the beacon. So I guess we're gonna find him, alright? Oh, here we go. Did we get a little bit of dungeon crawling? I'm terrible at those. Let's go. I mean, it's essentially dungeon crawling, right? We're gonna have to micro our units. These units are not easy to micro. We do have a high Templar now as well, which is incredibly good. They do, of course, have this little spell called Storm. There we go. It deals an awful lot of damage. It also hurts my own units, though. I don't really want to kill my own zealots here. I'm not sure how much of an army I'm gonna get in this particular mission. I could just go ahead and wait until these dudes like resurrect their recharge their shields rather, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and have a little bit of a look around. So this is the Zerg planet of Char. Looks pretty Terran to me, if you ask me. Doesn't look very PROTOSS or I don't actually know the exact origins of this planet, but I'm assuming it wasn't supposed to quite look like this. Let's put the healthy zealots in the front right here. There's no way a Zerg planet would look like this, right? This definitely does look a lot like the Terran ones instead. Anyway, I can't quite lose this High Templar, of course, so we have to be very careful. I tried moving him back, okay? He immediately got murdered by that sunken colony. I thought it was gonna be a smart idea to put the High Templar in the front so he could quickly storm without the units actually dealing a whole lot of damage to him, but apparently I was mistaken. Fine. Since we're still so very early, though, I think it's probably a little more efficient for us to just simply restart the mission there. Yeah, no, these storms are insane. Storm is an incredibly powerful spell. I am gonna lose a bunch of units here, though. I don't really know exactly if you can micro effectively against one of those things. At least without the Dragoon range, it becomes rather tricky. Maybe we shouldn't really playing all too careful, though. We'll see how this turns out. I'm assuming that we're probably gonna get some more units here in just a little bit. It's just so risky, though. Like, look how much we're losing here already. I've only got a handful of units remaining. Since I've already found out that this is not going to be an easy mission, if these are the only troops I'm going to have to play with, I don't think I'm going to have enough. I don't think I'm going to have enough here. How exactly should I go ahead and approach this? I think we have to find the correct path or something, because right now I'm just simply not going to have enough units. Do you think we want to fight our way past all of those sunken colonies? It does look, by the way, like the high grounds here are reasonably clear. Maybe we should try and take those instead. Alright, next attempt. All I can try and do is not storm my own units, which is surprisingly tricky. Although apparently the doesn't work against buildings as well, actually. Nope, doesn't do anything against buildings. Waste of your time, Lowko. Anyway, I don't think I want to lose any of these units if I cannot all avoid it, but it's very hard to prevent that from happening. It seems like the high grounds, though, are pretty clear. We should probably try and see where the Zerg are. Unburrow. Or let them unburrow, rather, and then, like, fight them here. Look at them, derping about. A couple of my zealots, though, are running very low. Can we kill that thing in time? Without range. Dragoons really aren't as amazing as they are with range. Okay. Can we try and micro our way against these things? There we go. Are they really expecting me to micro like that in the game so far already? I think it will probably be a little bit of time before we figure out exactly where Tassadar is located. There's a pretty wide open space over here, a little bit further on into the mission. Really only a couple of seconds though, but there's a massive high ground. And while there are some Zerg units here and there... There we go, that was a solid storm, I think. That did quite well. While there are some Zerg units over here, I'm mostly able to bypass a whole lot of the engagement, it feels like. Just gotta be careful. As soon as I see the edge of creep, I gotta, you know, move onwards very, very carefully. Let's put the zealots in the front. And maybe actually I should do a quick little save, just in case. Okay, Mutalisk. It's fair enough. In case I had lost all of my Dragoons, though, this would have been trouble. Try and not fight with the low HP ones if I cannot avoid it. Ugh. This is annoying, though. Oh, no! They keep just burrowing. Can I not storm on the high ground? Is that possible at all? Can you storm there? Oh, yeah, you can. Alright. Well, he's still alive. Let's just walk. We're probably better off just walking here. Okay, there's one more storm available for me. I don't have that much remaining, though. All of my units are running very low on HP. But it feels like we are leading up to a bit of a funnel. You know what? I'm gonna once again save, just in case, because I feel like I can easily mess this up. Maybe I should wait for shields to regenerate. All of my units are super low. Where are you, Tassadar? Hello? Jim Raynor!
Executor, how is it that you've come here? I was about to abandon all hope of rescue.
I have come to arrest you and bring you home to Aiur to stand
You misunderstand, Eldaris.
Arrest me? Aiur burns at the touch of the Zerg. You travel all this way to arrest me?
Don't let it get to you, man. This happened to me once.
Who is this human, Tassadar?
The name's Jim Raynor, pal, and I won't be talked down to by anybody. Not even a PROTOSS.
Amusing. Tassadar, your taste in companions grows ever more inexplicable. Executor, prepare to take Tassadar into
Executor,
custody.
wait. I do not know what they have told you about me, or what I have done. I have done for Aiur. Help me find Zeratul and his Dark Templar. They alone can defeat the Overmind Cerebrates. Once we have won, I shall gladly submit myself to the judgment of the Conclave.
Unthinkable. You presume that we would side with the Dark Ones as you have? You have gone quite mad, Tassadar.
You shall speak of them with respect, Eldaris. Executor, there is much that I can explain to you. If only you'll help me find Zeratul.
I will. Bring Tassadar and Raynor to the beacon. Oh, both of them. That's so sick. Alright, so we do have a bit of a base going here. I'm not sure how many units I'm gonna need, though. Have we, though? Have we been surrounded? So we got the PROTOSS High Templar here as well. That's Tassadar himself. Tassadar, of course, is also gonna be a High Templar. Oh, we can make High Templar now, though. That's sweet. Oh, man. No, 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 I need these probes. They're valuable, okay? Alright. I don't exactly know how many units I'm gonna need here. Truth be told, I don't think I really need a whole lot if it's like the same troops on the way home as we found there initially, although there may be some new ones that spawned in. I guess I'll spend a couple of minutes just simply building up a base, but I don't really think I'm gonna bother with all too many upgrades here or whatever. I mean, he gave me a bunch of new units, right? We just barely made it here in the end, but now with these new units already, I think I'm gonna have a pretty good time. Just simply walking the exact way back home once again, right? Alright, I'll spend a couple of minutes here building up a base. As always, starting up with the probes, and we'll let these guys regenerate some shields as well, which is just gonna take a bunch of time. I think I'll get a couple of them in gas as well. I think we'll probably get +1 attack upgrade in the Forge, and then we'll also go for the Zealot leg upgrade, and then, you know, the ranged upgrade in the Cybernetic core. And I think with that army composition, we should be capable of just simply, you know, waltzing our way back towards the starting position. Although, for some odd reason, these Mutalisks, they've been generous enough to not attack the beacon. That's very, very nice of them. You know what? Since I've got Jim Raynor now back once again, and apparently, by the way, Jim and Tassadar found each other on Char after, of course, they realized what happened to Kerrigan. Now that we got Raynor with us, though, I have no clue that he was part of the PROTOSS campaign. That's insane. That's really cool. But now that we got Raynor once again, he's very powerful, right? We can just go ahead and lay down some mines and do a little bit of damage and all that. Anyway, I got the Cybernetic core done. Next up, I'm also gonna be getting myself this temple or the Citadel of Doomrother, and I don't think we're really gonna, you know, worry about the Templar archives for now. I mean, I really don't need any more High Templar. They already have Storm. I can do an hallucination if I really wanted to. How does this work again? Yeah, just like that. We can send some units across. Let's have a quick look and see if there's anything that has changed. They're, of course, gonna be pretty powerful. So these are hallucinated zealots right now. Essentially, you cast it just a little bit differently like you do in StarCraft, StarCraft 2. Anyway, there are some more units, apparently. Yeah, okay, there are more units out on the map. So new units did decide to join in. That's pretty important to realize. But let's go ahead and start up, I think, 3 gateways. And once again, I'll spend a little bit of time producing some stuff. Alright, you know what? I think I've got enough units. I'm getting some more upgrades. I'm gonna keep producing more things as well if I can. But I think for now, I'm just gonna make a move for it. I think I've got more than enough. I don't know, though. I may be mistaken. Anyway, we got the Zealot leg upgrade done. We got the ranged upgrade done for the Dragoons. Making them much more microable, I guess. And while once again, they're derping here on top of the ramp, I think we're gonna be able to produce enough here. Just fine. I will have to make sure, of course, that I reinforce this base as well, so I don't just end up losing everything. But the Zealots, though, like, look at them, right? They are such, like, menacing forces on their own. It's kind of wild when you think about it. Like, compared to Zealots in StarCraft 2, these guys are insanely good. Alright, now there are a whole lot of Hydralisk here. Hydralisk a little bit different once again, where, you know, the fact that Zealots can just murder them very comfortably. There we go. Oh, there's a queen. I was wondering why all my units already got that that spell on them. I don't know if I'm pushing a little bit too greedy though. Could definitely be. I haven't actually casted any storms here yet either, but... Alright. Let's go ahead and start up one more Dragoon here. Trying to cast the storms. Whew! Storm is a beast. Raynor must survive though, so I gotta be a little careful here. I could just move around here with my remaining units as well. I hope I'm not playing this a little bit too greedy. There's some Scourge hanging out, but really, we got no air units. Is there going to be any creep over here as well? There is going to be some creep. No, 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 no. Don't die. Raynor, do not die. I asked you not to. Alright, +1 armor is just finishing up. I got myself some more units. I made a separate control group for my 2 men right here, who just apparently can't die or something lame like that. I don't even know. Let's go ahead and hang them in the back, because we are going to make a move out across the map. See if we can do some damage. There we go. Gonna send these guys across. And while I still do not have like the ideal amount of units here, and we could probably sit back for a little while longer and just simply make more stuff, I felt like I already had enough units previously that I should be able to clean this up right now. Just by simply moving around a little bit more smartly. And not having Raynor and Tassadar lead the charge. I think that would help as well. There's still a mine over here, which I think I'm gonna need. Oh, come on now, guys. Alright, well, I've got no time for this stuff anymore. Can you walk into my mine, please? I've got you a mine right here. Look at it. It's beautiful. There you go. Perfect. Alright. This is the big clump of mutas. Gotta be careful that I don't accidentally waste all of my energy there. Because of course there's no such thing as smart casting in this game. One hero Zella though leading the charge apparently. Okay, you guys, you should come across as well. If you want to, that is. You guys hang out in the corner, get the High Templar here. There's gonna be a big clump of mutas here though, we know about that part. There they are. Boom! Perfect. Still a lot of mutas though. Very nice. And here we go. I think I'm gonna be able to finally close this one out. With Tassadar and Jim just simply hanging in the back. I'm playing a little bit careless, I think, most of the time with my hero units. I should probably play a little bit more careful before the YouTube comments get really upset at me. I know you guys would never. Never, right? I know you would never, but just in case that could, hypothetically speaking, be a thing. I think I'm going to be able to walk both of these guys into the PROTOSS beacon right now. Make sure that we're going to clean up the last of these units. And, well, apparently there's still a queen here. And it's going to slow us down just a little bit. Excuse me, coming through. Let's go ahead and walk both Tassadar and Raynor in there.
You have my thanks, Executor. Now let us find Zeratul and speed our way home.
So just to recap, right? Apparently Jim, Raynor, and Tassadar met up on Char after they both got lured there together with General Duke and a whole bunch of others because of Kerrigan's transformation in the Chrysalis. Praetor Fenix sadly ended up dying. I don't really know exactly what's gonna happen with him. He's a pretty cool character, so I secretly hope that he is gonna come back in this campaign as well, although I obviously have no clue of knowing that right now, because I've never played it before. But for now, Tassadar is back, Raynor is back as well, and sadly Fenix ended up dying. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this episode. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you're interested in the next one, you know what to do. There's a subscribe button below the video that will give you a notification as soon as I upload more. Other than that, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I'll see you in the next one.